Good morning, Flosstube. I am Patti. I'm here in sunny Saskatchewan to record a Flosstube for you guys, for everyone who's taking part in Stitch Mania. I'm not taking part in Stitch Mania because I dilly-dallied too long and none of my fabric arrived. So instead, I thought I would make you guys a Flosstube to watch and give you something to do while you're stitching. I'm wearing a headset because I'm pretty sure my tablet should have a microphone, but it apparently will not work for me. So I'm wearing a headset because my husband's still in bed and I have nobody else to ask how to run this thing. So let's start out. I live in Saskatchewan, Canada. It's spring here, but that just means it's not snowing, at least today. It is sunny this morning. I was up early having my morning coffee, so I thought, what the heck, here we go. So first I'll start with finishes. The biggest one I'm proud of is I got back into cross stitch about a year ago for my granddaughter who was going to be born. I wanted to make her a birth announcement. Her name is Catalea. She was born in July 2019. So I had this professionally framed for her because I was so very proud of it. So this is a Busilla pattern. I just bought it off of Amazon. And so it says, once upon a time, a princess was born, Catalea, July 24th, 2019. So this was the biggest one I had ever done and completed. So I was quite proud of that one. And then another recent finish, which I just bought a cheap little frame off Amazon and put it in. But this was it was a fast stitch because I was really burnt out after doing that big stitch for Catalea. So this is just happily ever after, love, Aaron and Patti. So obviously that's our anniversary date. So, and then one other thing I did, I was desperate here during this lockdown. So I bought Cross Stitch magazine, which apparently our Walmart has, even though this is February's edition, and apparently that's what our Walmart has. So I made this little needle book. My hand sewing really sucks. So I'm really only proud of the little cross stitch I did for it. I probably won't use it just because I can't get past how badly my hand sewing to put the little thing together looked. And another quick stitch I did recently, I'll show you the picture because I did change the picture a little bit because I felt there was just a little too many curlicues for my likings. So I bought this at Michael's. It's just a little black and white. And actually I only started it because I had given up sewing on black and dark navies, but then I saw on Priscilla and Chelsea one day they suggested putting a white towel under your lap, and that did the trick for me to be able to see better. So there's it's got some of the curlicues, but I took off the ones down here by the U and up here by the home because it was just too much for me. And I apologize in advance if the cat comes over to the table because she is wandering. She's a new cat. She's wandering around, and I feel like there's a good chance she's going to pop by at any given moment. So this next project I'm going to show you, this is a dimensional kit. I bought this probably 10 years ago when I was first into cross stitching. So you can see it's that. And it is done on 14-count black Aida. So I recently took this out again. I was going to start because I got back into cross stitching. And I'll show you this. I hadn't done that much. Just a couple of the books. And for whatever reason, I realized I did the cross stitches the wrong way. And I couldn't get past that. My brain cannot stitch on that now. So I ended up ordering a piece of black Aida and restarting this project. So I'll show you where I'm at now. Sorry for all the crinkling. I actually like all the crinkling when I watch videos. but everybody always apologizes for it, so I'm assuming some people don't. So this, I probably got my Aida in maybe a week ago. And so you can see, it's hard to see what's in the video. There's my cat bottom end hanging off in the books. And that's where I've gotten to. So, and I also bought an Light off Amazon, not a really expensive one, just a cheap one to test it out to see if it would help me see better to work on black, and it does. I'm quite pleased with that purchase. Now this is another one, again, I don't know what I was doing 10 years ago that I did all my cross stitches the wrong way. But this one has so much back stitching in it that it's going to be obvious if I don't restart it. So it's on Navy Aida, so I'm waiting for some Navy Aida to come that I ordered. So it's just wolves howling at the moon. I guess I have a big completed wolf one that's downstairs. So this one I had just gotten one wolf head started, so at least it's not hugely, but I don't know, I just can't get past the fact that I don't know why I did my stitches like that. And yes, I'm using the official Ziploc brand bags. So another little quick stitch I ordered recently. I've been waiting for fabric, but I finally just put it on some 28 count linen that I had gotten from Michael's. But I haven't done the other. There's 3 patterns in here. One could be done on 28, 2 wanted 32 count. So I was waiting to do them. So there's just some little coffee, Lizzie Kate. I got these from 123stitch.com. It says, today's good move is sponsored by coffee. Dear coffee, I love you. And but first coffee. I'm not sure if my camera's reversing, so I thought I better. There's just one I did. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with these when they're done. Something in my kitchen, but I'm not 100% sure what I'll do with them. So I thought I'd tell you who I've been watching lately. Jen Stitching Niche. Love her. Emily C. I watch Priscilla and Chelsea, of course. I think everybody does. To Martini Stitcher. I found one that's in Britain, and she's Nadine Nad's Stitch. She's only got a few videos out, but I have a lot of stitching in common with her, so we're both going to be doing Seeking Refuge, and I quite like watching her work. I also like Becky Getting Stitchy with It. She has quite a wide range of crafts that she does, so because I have a granddaughter now, I ordered this because I thought it was very amusing. What happens at Grandma's stays at Grandma's. So I've got this much done on it. I did order these are all little buttons on it. So I did order those. I tried to also order the frame, but they said the site was called Poppy Creations, and they said they don't carry the designer frames anymore. So I don't know. I'll probably just make something up. I was glad I was able to get the buttons from just another button company. So that at least was a good part of it. So something else I've been working on, because again, I wanted little quick stitches. So this one was a Prairie Schooler I got from 123 Stitch, I believe. So it's Santas and Snowmen. There's lots of little cute ones. So I've just got one so far, one of the Santas, and yes, this is just on an even weave because, like I said, I'm waiting for fabrics to come, and this is what I had, so I'll probably just do them all on this even weave now because I don't want them all to be different, so that's that. I hope I'm not boring you too much, but I thought, you know, you need a nice long video. There's been lots of vlogs last night of just a few stitches, what everybody's been done for the day, but there was nothing long last night, and I'm like, oh, let's give it a shot. Okay, so another Dimensions Gold kit I'm doing. This one, I can foresee that this is going to be an unfinished project. So it is gorgeous. I love it. I love it. But doing it is a lot different than loving it. There's a lot of blended strands, you know, where you're having brown and green, and so that's literally all I've done is started a flower in the middle. My lighting really isn't very good in here, so if I ever make another one, I'll have to remember that. I have the light on, plus I have the early morning sunlight, but I didn't want to sit too close to the sunlight and then have it shining all over me. And so here's one more. So I have a grandson, and this is another kit that I bought off Amazon, and it is dimensions also. So it's just a little announcement. It's really hard to find a good boy one, so I picked this one because it's just all primary colors. It could be used for boy or girl. This one, I'm finding the border is really draggy, so I've been working a bit on the border, a bit on the picture to try and spread that out a little bit. So I have that much done. But like I say, and it's just on Ada, that border is really intensive coverage, and the counting. But that's why Flosstube is good. It helps me get through that. So we'll do a little stash dive, because like I said, I ordered a lot of patterns for coming up to Stitch Mania, but then because everybody was like 123 Stitch has now just shipped out a bunch of my stuff. I think the last one's going out on Monday. I got all my patterns really fast from Jen's Stitching Niche. She has an Etsy store, so yeah, but like I said, I even tried ordering fabric here in Canada. Michael's has Ada and Even Weave. They don't seem to carry much for linens or higher than a 28 count. And I don't know what it's like to stitch on those, so I wanted to try them all. So I have tons of floss for everything already. I just don't have the fabrics. So I ordered Lizzie Kate, Cat Lessons for People. It says, be persnickety, play with your food, appreciate wildlife, nap every day, don't bite. Don't bite when a hiss will do, practice patience, listen before speaking, and when you make a mess, bury it, but sit very close to those you love. So I have all my threads for that, so that'll be ready to go as soon as I get some fabric for it. Crinkle, crinkle. Okay, this one, now here's what disturbs me about this one is I discovered that she is a Saskatchewan or a Canadian designer, and here I sent all the way to the US for her her artwork to cross stitch, and she just lives in the next province over. So this is Jeanette Douglas. It's a set called Blooming Bouquets, and this is number 3, Joyful. I love this red. I didn't think I would love ever a red picture, but I really love this red. She does also include to do more of a coral, like there's a chart with the colors changed to do more of a lighter, if you don't want quite the vibrant red. So you get both in there. But I'm really excited to start this one. And that floss I'm going to be picking up at Michael's today. But again, I have no fabric to put it on, so I don't have to get it done. Sorry that you can see my light reflected in the picture over my head. Most of these patterns, in case I forget to say, came from Jen's Stitching Niche. Canada does not really seem to have many stores. There's one in Ontario called Stitch It Central, but I did order some fabric from them, and I'm not really impressed with how fast they're shipping. So this is Elizabeth Designs. It's called Nature's Alphabet. And yeah, I'll probably do everything in DMC. That's kind of what I've ordered. There was one pattern that I'll get to that I did order a few, until I discovered there was a conversion chart online. I did order a few in the Classic Colorworks. But mostly I'm going to just do DMC. It just makes life easier. So I got a few Cricut collection pictures. I have all the pretty floss. I love the floss. So this is Winter by Vicki Hastings, but for the Cricut collection. And this will be the first one I'll use Krynic on. It calls for a snow plus, or I mean you have the white plus, it's like a pearly white Krynic that will go in with that one. There's so many I'm excited to do. When the fabric comes, I'm just going to lock myself up. It's a good thing I'm working from home right now. So I can use all of my breaks and just whip out a cross stitch right there. I'm a nurse, but I work in a very specialized field, so they have us working from home officially just to keep us safe, because there's only 4 of us in the province that can do stem cell harvest, so we can't get sick. So this is Birds of a Feather, Bloom Where You Are Planted. And I really like that little guy. And this one is on a 36 count called Meadow Lark. I don't know. I did order a 36 count to see what it looked like. I can't guarantee that I would actually have the vision to stitch on a 36 count. But you never know. We'll see. I'll update you in future videos if I do another one. So this is by Misty Purcell. I've watched one of her videos on Flosstube as well. So Luminous Fiber Arts, Spooky October. I particularly like this because it doesn't have like 50 DMC threads. There's literally only 8. And yet I like the Halloween color mix. You know, she got lots of color in there, but not with a ridiculous number of threads to use. So if anybody wants to comment, I'd love some advice on needles. I've been trying out a bunch of different needles, but I honestly don't know what I'm supposed to use. I'm so used to buying kits from Dimensions, etc. So I just use the needle that comes in the kit. So I don't know, should I be buying tapestry needles, round needles, sharp needles? Yeah, comment below if you have any suggestions. I'm mostly stitching on 28. The Adas are 18 counts, I believe, that I'm stitching on. So, and my phone just beeped, sorry. So this is also a Cricut collection by Vicki Hastings, and this one is Summer. And I like that one too. And you know, I just love, I admit, these, I'm not anxious to do all of this many stitches, but I do love all the bags of floss. And that's not even all of the floss needed. I'm missing some. I had to order them from another party because my girls didn't have. I think everybody must be just shopping while they're stuck at home. So my husband is American. I imported him from California. He gave up hot California for me to come to Saskatchewan. So I bought this for him because Americans just tend to be more patriotic than Canadians, I think. It's not that we aren't patriotic. I think we just don't think of it as much as you guys do. So I bought him Waxing Moon's Design, Patriotic House Trio. So America, Freedom, and Liberty. And he actually looked quite tickled when I showed him that, so I think he is excited. He, when he moved here, I bought him a big American flag and hung it in our bedroom. And because I knew that it was more important to him than to me. And I'm hoping that if the I probably even shouldn't say anything. Anyways, we have a Canadian flag hanging now, which disturbs me to no end to have a Canadian flag hanging in our bedroom, because like I said, Canadians just don't take patriotism to the same level. Okay, so this is a Plum Street sampler called Miss Bingley's Library, which is, I shall be miserable if I have not an excellent library. I love how they just, you know, carried words over to the next line, like without a hyphen, or didn't space it so that, the word would stay together, you know. Getting close to the bottom of the pile, and we're only at 20 minutes. I thought I could at least drag this out longer to give you guys something to do while you're stitching. So this is Heartstring Samplery, and there's another, this is part 2, so I'll have to see what part 1 is. I haven't really looked into it yet, but this is a coffee Quaker from the Magical Elixir series, and it's called First I Drink the Coffee, Then I Do the Things. And I've been seeing this on quite a few people's floss tubes, and I just like it. I feel like I should go with that color because of the coffee, but I feel like I'm not really like in tones of brown kind of person, so I might pick something else. Pink is always good, and my husband is colorblind, so it doesn't bother him at all to have decorating done in the pink. Yes, I have been doing a lot of niche. Okay, so this is the Winter ABCs. I think that's cute. This says 32 count, and then it'll be 4 by 22 inches. So that's not bad. I'll probably do some sort of finish like how Priscilla and Chelsea do a lot of their, or I guess Priscilla, but how they do a lot of their finishes, because then I can switch these out. Because I also bought, yes, crinkle. I also bought Autumn ABCs. So that's also 4 by 22, so, and on a 32 count. So if I did them both, then I could just switch them out, you know, with magnets like they do. Use the same, and even for that, those two I got, that summer and winter, I might do the same thing. I've never done anything like that. Like I don't generally see myself as like a crafty type person, so. Now this is the one. It wasn't necessarily the one I wanted, but I liked it. It's from Blackbird Designs Garden Club series, and this is number 11, and it's called Fairy Garden. I'm actually watching for one called Summer Garden. But when I saw this, I'm like, I could totally get into that. Looks a little dark and dreary on that. I'll probably pick a slightly lighter fabric, because I just find that a little too looking aged and worn, and I know that makes them look vintage, but clearly it's not going to look that vintage. This one is Pineberry Lane. I was seeing this a lot on other people's floss tubes as well. It's called Be Thankful. I just thought it was a nice little primitive looking sampler. And that's on a lighter one, so that's why I think I can do the other one on a lighter fabric too. I think the linen will add more of a vintagey look than anything else. But I'm just not a fan of those darker colors. Okay, so this is the last one. So this is called Seweth Sampler by Birds of a Feather. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Maybe you can already tell that I like pink stuff. So anyways, that's my stash. So like I said, feel free, if you've watched this, to comment in the bottom about what kind of needles I should be using. And otherwise, I didn't even hit 25 minutes. So sorry, I didn't get you through much of your Stitch Mania stitching, but I'm looking forward to seeing more videos, hopefully out today. So, and I apologize again about my beautiful headset being on. So thanks, and happy Stitch Mania. Happy stitching, guys.